What? 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 Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you?
Oh, got to be in the center here. Oh, there we go. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Headliners. I'm Tim. Mikey, I'm sure, is on his way. Yeah. Anyway, there's a whole mess of stuff we got to talk about. But first, we got to talk about you liking and subscribing to the show. Become a member. Why not? On YouTube. It's so easy. Just hit the notification bells and click I want to become a member and then choose whatever level you want. It doesn't matter. You can also go to patreon.com/TheBinPodcast and support us that way. But the best way you can support us is by watching the show, watching all the shows. Just do it. I made a whole playlist for it's the Civics Corner. So there's 5 videos up there. I got to put more. Unfortunately, I have to go and find the rest because I didn't clip them all originally, but we'll find them and we'll put them up there. So there's a whole playlist for that now, and there's other playlists, and just hit a playlist and watch. And like and subscribe. Also, we didn't do this in the last couple episodes, but I'll do it this time. Cause sure, why not? We gotta promote these things, right? They're out there. We gotta promote them. Bam, we got merch. There we go. Go buy a shirt, buy a hat. It's on sale right now. tpublic.com. You get a Tim's hat or a fuck the hell off t-shirt. Do all the things. It's on sale now for, I don't know, a limited time, the next 14 hours. So the rest of the day, the next 2 days and 14 hours. So the whole weekend, maybe. Who knows? How does time work? Not me. I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to say hi to the people. That's what we're going to do. That's the next thing. Let's see if I can get all the buttons to work here. Can we do that? Show in open window. Hold on. Producing the show by myself at the moment. Let's see. We got Scott.
I literally have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
Adams.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, today's definitely
Fuck it.
Today's definitely a fucking do it live kind of day. Chris C.
No fucking way.
The Dark Lord Greg.
Tide goes in, tide goes out. You can't explain that.
Let's see. Am I missing anyone? I don't think I'm missing anyone. More people will show up, I assume. It can only good happen.
It can only good happen.
All right. So I got a whole bunch. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. But the headline for today is this. Is Jeff fucking Bezos telling us how to live our lives?
We are here on the factory floor this morning of Blue Origin, and we are here with Jeff Bezos, the founder of Blue Origin, also, of course, founder of Amazon.
And Jeff Bezos is going to spend the next 6 minutes telling us who we should tax and who we shouldn't tax. And guess who we shouldn't tax? Oh, it's Jeff Bezos.
Great to see you. This is remarkable, by the way, just the scale of it. We've been talking about it all morning. But of all the people that we could talk to about everything that's going on in the country right now, in the economy, AI, jobs, space, we want to talk to you. And there is so much to talk about. We're going to touch on that, policy, politics, and so much more.
Why are the captions so big?
But one of the topics that I thought we should talk about, and maybe even start with, is These days, it feels almost impossible to pick up a newspaper without reading a headline about wealth in America, about the billionaire class, about wealth inequality and policy and everything else. And it's taken a
Can they not
uniquely
be at like
critical turn, I
400%
think.
font? There we
And I'm
go.
so curious, before we even get
Jesus.
into everything else, what you think about that right now.
Well, first of all, Andrew,
Oh, wait. This is in the chat. Yeah.
Democrats are revved up.
I'm glad you're asking the question. I think it's a really important topic, and I think it's an important one to discuss because I see the same thing you do. You know, you see it in a bunch of headlines, you see it in a bunch of places, and I have been thinking about like what is driving this? Because it does seem different from 10 years ago, and I think what's going on is,
Could we not have done this in a factory, in his fucking spaceship factory, so that we didn't have all this background noise? Is it possible that Jeff Bezos could have just met in a studio with somebody instead of in his fucking rocket ship factory?
it's kind of a tale of two economies. So you have a bunch of people in this country who are doing really well, but you also have a bunch of people in this country who are struggling to pay rent, groceries, and so what's happening here is politicians are using the kind of age-old technique. So there's this tale of two economies, and they're using this age-old technique of picking a villain and pointing fingers. But the problem
is the villain you, Jeff Bezos? You fucking Mark?
is that doesn't solve anything. And so, like, if you want to help the group of people who are struggling, you have to figure out real root causes and solutions. And
the root cause is you.
You know, it's like the way
you're the root cause. Like the billionaire trying to explain that, the K-shaped economy is not because of him is fucking crazy. The guy who owned Amazon, the K-shaped economy is not because of him and his fucking monopoly.
If we have a problem at Amazon, the way we would fix it is we would go in and we'd do the 5 whys and we'd try to get to a root cause. We'd try to find a root fix. And then when we fix it at the root, you're fixing it forever. It's a real solution. And what we don't do, because it doesn't work, is just point fingers and blame people. It might feel good for 10 seconds, but doesn't accomplish anything.
Oh,
so
poor
what
me.
could you really do?
Poor billionaire Jeff Bezos. Oh my God. How dare people blame me for how the company that I started has created an entire monopoly and helped create the K-shaped economy that we have now. Driving other people out of business is Jeff Bezos all the time. Yeah, Jeff Bezos' estimated net worth is 272 billion. If we tax him at 25%, it would raise $68 billion in taxes per year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he can fucking handle it.
So, like, do you have
a plan?
I have some ideas. I have some places to start. So, I started thinking about this and doing some research. A nurse in Queens.
Please, Jeff Bezos, with all of your experience in economic policy, please explain to us how you're going to fix the economy.
Who makes $75,000 a year pays more than $12,000 a year in taxes. Does that really make sense? So people talk about making the tax system more progressive. How about we start by having the nurse in Queens not pay taxes? Why is somebody at all? Why is a nurse in
yes, the argument for getting rid of the income tax is what he's making.
Queens who makes $75,000 a year paying more than $1,000 a month in taxes? That's $1,000 a month that could help with rent or groceries.
They don't actually end up paying those taxes. They get that back in a tax refund. If you're making $75,000 a year, generally speaking, you get your money back at the end of the year in a tax refund. That's why people file tax returns, so that they get a refund of their money.
Or anything. And so, and by the way, do you know what that all adds up to? The bottom half of income earners in this country pay only 3% of the taxes. It's only 3%. We can find 3%. So
Yeah. Jeff Bezos can pay it. If it's only 3% and we don't have to charge people making $75,000 or less a year, then Jeff Bezos can make it up. And his billionaire friends can make it up, right? This is the argument he's going to make, correct? In 2021, Jeff Bezos paid $973 million in taxes on a reported income of $4.22 billion. That is an effective tax rate of less than 1%.
we don't have, it's a small amount of money for the government, you know that. And really, and the more I thought about it, to me, it's kind of absurd that we're doing this. You know, we shouldn't be asking this nurse in Queens to send money to Washington. They should be sending her an apology. It really makes no sense.
Okay, but then on the other end, the question is, should you be paying higher taxes to pay for the 3%
Yes.
component part of this that you think is going to need to be paid for, if not more than that, given the debts we have?
Yes.
It's certainly a perfectly valid.
Yeah, I think there was one too many zeros in there.
Policy debate to say, do we want an even more progressive tax system? So, you know, the kind of the line that gets quoted all the time is, you know, the wealthy should pay their fair share. And we can argue about what the fair share is. That's a policy.
It's paying your tax rate. That's what the fair share is. What's the top tax rate in this country? 36%? He should be paying 36%. That's his fair share. But he's fucking not. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Debate. That's okay. But the vilification is the thing that's just the distraction. And by the way, if you really are being honest about it, we don't have a revenue problem in this country. We already have the most progressive,
you know what, Unquiet Badger, you're right,
in the world. The top 1% of taxpayers pay 40% of all the tax revenue.
Fuck the hell off.
The bottom half pay only 3%. We have already, and I think it should be zero. I don't think it should be 3%. I think it should be zero. So we'd be making it more progressive that way. We actually have a spending problem. And that's a skills issue.
We don't. And this is a big...
Fuck the hell off.
We don't have a spending problem. I mean, we do when it comes to the military-industrial complex, which I'm sure Jeff Bezos gets a lot of contracts for with AWS and his fucking rocket ship company. We do have a spending problem. Maybe we shouldn't be spending $1 billion on the military every year and starting wars all over the world. In that regards, he's right. In every other regard, he's wrong. We have a revenue problem in this country, and we've had a revenue problem in this country for 30 years. Ooh, he's got his eyes closed. Hold on. Got him. Yeah, $1 trillion every year on the military. We do have a spending problem in that regard. In every other regard, we're not spending enough.
I mean, let me give you an example. The New York City school system. They spend $44,000.
Is he going after fucking Mayor Mamdani for some reason? Does Bezos have a problem with Mayor Mamdani?
Per student. $44,000. That's 30% more per student than other big cities like Chicago, LA, and Boston. And it's 3 times more than Miami and Houston. And by the way, New York City
is the biggest city in the country. They have the biggest school system in the country. What the fuck is he talking about? Also, that $44,000 per student is not a holistic number. It's just not. And this is what Republicans do in every school district in the country. All right? They're like, oh, we spend $20,000 per student. But they're just taking the overall budget for the Board of Education and then dividing it among the number of students. And they're not taking any other expenses into account. They're saying, oh, we spend this much money per student. And it's not a real number. They're not putting into account infrastructure or utilities or teacher salaries or anything like that. They're just saying flat out, if you take the Board of Education budget and divide it by the number of students, that's how much we're spending per student. They're not taking any other factors into account, and it's bullshit and nonsense.
Doesn't get better outcomes. But so what this listen,
and what
let
is
me,
his
let me just say,
what is his fucking plan for fixing it then? What is his fucking plan for fixing it?
If we ran Amazon the way New York City runs their school system,
right,
your packages would take 6 weeks to arrive.
Fuck the hell off.
We'd have to charge you $100 delivery fee. And then when the
also adding in a
Is he lying or is he stupid? Put in your votes now.
package did finally arrive, it'd have the wrong item in it anyway.
Right.
We can't. That's a skills issue, Andrew. It's
right.
It's not about.
It's a skills
it's
issue.
Just competence.
Boy, he's an angering lad. He's an angering person to listen to.
We're not trying to give
in other billionaire news,
money to anybody who attacked a police officer. We're trying to give money, not give money, we're trying to compensate people where the book was thrown at them. They were mistreated by the legal system. Let's turn the page on this thing that we did under the last administration where we tried to throw people in prison.
Yeah, let's not gloss over that too much. He did try to use Gamer Talk to saying that the amount of money that New York is spending on its students is a skill issue. He's fucking God. He's the worst. He's the worst. Bezos clearly hasn't been on a warehouse floor in a long time. Right. It's not a productivity issue. Here, we'll go back to this stupid fucking moron for a second. There we go. It's not a productivity issue. They're not inputs and outputs. Like, he's not this whole thinking of like our government as a business is crazy because you can't. It's not. Government is not a business. It should not be run like a business, and it should never be thought of as a business. Every time things are in government are put into a business perspective, it breaks. You break that part of government. That's what they did to the post office, and it's broken now. And they don't know how to fix it except for raising the price of shipping and stamps. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to Vance in a second. But the billionaire trying to explain to us how government should run is fucking wild. And I know that billionaires are in charge of our government at this point, and they shouldn't be. There should be some sort of law against it because we live in an oligarchy now here in America. And Bezos is one of the guys who was at the president's fucking inauguration cheering him on because Bezos knew that he was going to get those tax cuts and that his companies were going to get those contracts and he was going to make a shit ton more money. Now, I know he's not in charge of Amazon anymore, but the Blue Horizon, I'm sure, got contracts, and I'm sure he's still making money from stock holding in Amazon. So he's in it for him. He's not in it for anyone else except for him and making more money for himself. And he does not care about the teachers or the nurses in Queens. He does not care, and he never will. He's only using them as a prop, saying that, oh, they shouldn't pay any taxes because they make less than a certain amount of money. Great, Jeff. Fucking pick up the tab for them then. Pay their share, if that's what you think. Chris C says, billionaires and millionaires need to be taxed properly and fairly. I'm thinking 75% effective tax rate. Yeah, I'm saying that you should tax everything over $1 billion of income at 100%. 100%. Because right now, this guy's making a shit ton of money and barely any of it's being taxed. And he can say the raw numbers of what he's being taxed, and it's still not the percentage he's supposed to be taxed, even under this tax system. I believe the highest tax bracket is 36%. And he's not paying that. And his companies aren't paying their share. Because he's got money to have fucking accountants and lawyers and whoever rig the system for him. No, 37%. There we go. And $1 billion might be too high. I would start there. Hell, if I forget what the number is for the top tax bracket, but I think it's about $500,000. Start incrementally taxing that shit all the way up to $1 billion. And then at $1 billion, make it 100%. Maybe make it 50% at 500 million. Let's see how much Jeff is willing to give back if he wants to fix things so much. And if he says we got a spending problem, well, maybe we need to raise revenues on him and the other billionaires that live in this country. Anyway, on to JD Vance.
We're not trying to give money to anybody who attacked a police officer. We're trying to give money, not give money, we're trying to compensate people where the book was thrown at them. They were mistreated by the legal system. Let's turn the page on this thing that we did under the last administration where we tried to throw people in prison because they had the wrong politics. Let's throw people in prison who broke the law. I think
they did break the law. They did break the law. That's why they were in prison. It's not because of their politics. It's because they damaged property and threatened people. Some of them confessed to it. It has nothing to do with having the wrong politics. It's got everything to do with trying to do an insurrection. A lazy insurrection at that.
This fund is a good part of getting justice for the people.
£2 British for the Civic Show, which we will get to. I think we're on to Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution. Yeah, right. They were insurrectionists. They were. They tried to do a lazy coup.
People who were wrongly treated.
What are your thoughts about this weaponization fund from the president at this point?
Yeah, not a big fan. And I'm not sure exactly how they intend to use it, but my understanding is that was just announced. But yeah, I don't see a purpose.
Oh man, that's the Senate Minority Leader saying, I don't know what the purpose is for the slush fund. Hey, 10 gifted Bin podcast memberships. Hold on, let me pull up the old stream here. And we'll find out who we got these memberships for. Close. Our channel has standards? I didn't know that. All right, the following people. Here, we'll do this. The following people have gifted memberships thanks to Viper Scott, Robert Platinum. Here, maybe I can put in the sounds here too. Robert Platinum.
Fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini.
Yellow Melon.
But you can't sing.
My Unfinished Journey.
I'm talking to you.
Spooky Bed Hair.
Oh, first of all, I didn't say that. Oh, I said that in terms of
Dr. Kresh.
Tell me about it.
So Paul Pollard.
Ooh, I'm getting a spice attack.
Trump failed, haha.
Girls are fighting, aren't they?
My Unfinished Sock.
Shame. Shame.
Ooh, and friend of the show, Mike Dix.
These were the free speech advocates.
Yes, Mike Dix got one too. Excellent. Thanks to Viper Scott for the continued unreasonable amount of support. Unreasonable amount.
Tell me about it. So
let's go back to the clip.
Senator, Senate Majority Leader John Thune with that criticism. Before that, Vice President J.D. Vance actually defending this. And he went on saying, I just don't understand why we help some people who get arrested, but not rioters who tried to overthrow a presidential election. Protesters. This is, of course, I believe the same J.D. Vance who said, oh, no, we would never, we, the president, I'm sure, would never, ever pardon people that beat up cops. Well, not only did he do that, but he pardoned them, and now he's created a slush fund. Yes, you've got to assume a $1.8 billion slush fund for people that beat the hell out of cops. Why do we say that? Because Donald Trump was asked, Mr. President, is this going to be even for people who beat the hell out of cops. And the president said, oh, we're going to have a fine commission to determine whether these people, and including.
I don't really want to talk about the DNC autopsy report because I'm sure it's full of bullshit. But breaking news, in response to the DNC autopsy report in the 2024 election, Trump said that we have elections that are more corrupt than third world countries and we have to do something about it. So I'm sure it's just more ammunition for Trump to try to take national control of elections or whatever the scheme is at this point. He's only got a few months to get it in, too, because November is coming.
Those who beat the hell out of cops are going to get this money. I mean, Mika, this is just, again, it's just so extraordinarily outrageous. You have the president talking again about this $1 billion Marie Antoinette ballroom that it was perfectly fine. We had security, we had facilities to keep the president secure, and then he tore down the East Wing. Said, oh, it's not going to cost anything. Now it's going to cost over $1 billion. They can say it's for security, but it's happening because the president wanted to create a Marie Antoinette ballroom. And now, on top of that, while people are struggling to pay their groceries, the people are struggling to put gas in their cars, people are struggling to pay their rent. We got this $1 billion Marie Antoinette ballroom now that they're talking about funding. And
Get it, Joe. You have a catchphrase for the ballroom. You don't have to repeat it every 5 seconds.
$1 billion plus sludge fund for people who beat the hell out of cops. It is a slush fund, a weaponization slush fund for supporters of Donald.
Apparently, Trump is saying that voters should have proof of citizenship and mail-in ballots need to be banned. Yeah. No, those are the things that he's been pushing. That's the 14th Amendment stuff. And the mail-in ballots thing is going to be rough for him because some states only vote by mail-in ballot, and some of those are Republican states. So he's going to have a real problem with that one if he wants the states to switch on a dime to an in-person system who have been voting mail-in ballot-wise for a long time. Right, and he mailed in his ballot in the last presidential election and in most recent elections. So he's a mail-in ballot person, and when asked about it, he's like, I'm the president. I can do what I want, but you shouldn't be able to vote by mail-in ballot. Come on.
Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and the Republican Party. And again, you've just got to say, with all-time low, hey, Republicans, listen, you have all-time
Joe, you can't get them to listen.
Low approval ratings. You are getting wiped out by Democrats in every poll.
Yeah, right. Joe is acting like he didn't get the ballroom invite after his buddy session with Trump at the beginning of 2025. He went to go kiss the ring.
That's coming out. And you're blindly going along with a Marie Antoinette ballroom that these taxpayers who can't afford groceries are going to have to fund with their own tax dollars. A war that keeps going on and on and on and on that they're going to have to fund, even though they can't afford to put gas in their car. And you've got $1 billion plus slush fund that I guarantee you will go, if the past is prologue, to people who beat the hell out of cops. For people who beat the hell out of cops. Take your support the blue flags down, because you're just full of it. You're full of it because, unlike me, who supports cops, whether they're at the Capitol or whether they're on Main Street.
Let's slow down a little bit there, Joe. All right. Let's not go full on, I support cops no matter what. All right, buddy?
Street in any U.S. town, you just kind of support.
Yeah, right. Did Joe read a book about Marie Antoinette or something? Why is that his catchphrase for the ballroom? What's going on there? He just likes saying Marie Antoinette, I think.
Cops when Donald Trump tells you to support cops.
Right.
But not the Capitol Hill cops. You were such cowards, you refused to even put up a plaque honoring the dead. Honoring the dead. Honoring those cops that were so brutalized and torn to shreds that they went home and had PTSD and killed themselves. Because you sat there and coward. And now you won't support them. And now you're going to pay the people who killed the cops.
That's twisted.
That's angry.
Good morning, America.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well, because I will tell you, Republicans in Congress aren't doing well. If they sit back and allow this slush fund to move forward, like they're allowing the Marie Antoinette ballroom to move forward, like they're allowing continued funding without any oversight of this war. How many billions? How many billions are we at right now that taxpayers are paying for this war that nobody really wanted, that the overwhelming majority of Americans are against? Just
Marie Antoinette isn't even a good burn. She's notable for being unjustly slain and out of touch rich teen. Right. I mean, Trump is definitely out of touch and rich. He ain't no teen. Chrissy has a sicker burn. It's not the Marie Antoinette ballroom. It's the Lolita ballroom. Gross.
Billions and billions and billions of dollars. And the president, Mika, as I said yesterday, he could go out and explain this. Instead of just ranting in front of a microphone, he could sit down and have a speech and talk about the dangers of a nuclear Iran and the sacrifices it will take. He just won't do it.
No, he's talking about his ballroom. He's got his plans.
He'll talk about the Marie Antoinette ballroom.
Joe, give it a fucking break, man. I'm trying to be on your side over here. All right? I'm trying to be on your side, Joe, but you're making it hard to be on your side.
He'll talk about the Golden Arch. He'll talk about a slush fund for cop killers. He'll talk about all of those things. And by the way, if you don't think they're cop killers, little boy with your podcast, if you don't think they're cop killers, talk to their wives, talk to their sons, talk to their daughters, talk to Brian Sicknick's mom, talk to their families, and they will tell you the very people Donald Trump wants to give billions to are cop killers. Ask them who killed those cops on January the 6th. They'll tell you, Mika, it's beyond disgusting that these Republicans sit back and do nothing, do absolutely nothing when they know what he is doing is wrong.
We're also going to run through new details that we're learning about the extraordinary use.
I like how Joe just fucking rants and then Mika's like, and on to the next story.
Of executive power that could effectively help shield President Trump from additional scrutiny of his finances and legal conduct. That's another big story we're following this morning, one of many on this Wednesday, May 20th. With us, we have the co-host of our 9 a.m. hour, staff writer at The Atlantic, Jonathan Lemire, MS Now National Affairs analyst, John Heilman. He's partner in...
All right. In the studio, not in the studio, right? And these people are all going to get their own cameras and cutaways because they don't know how to produce this show properly. They want it to look like a fucking podcast, and it's a live TV show, guys. Just put them in a shot together.
Chief political columnist at Puck, U.S. national editor and columnist for the Financial Times, Ed Luce, writer at large for the New York Times, Elizabeth Buemiller, and senior writer at The Dispatch and a columnist at Bloomberg Opinion, David Drucker joins us this morning. And Joe, there's a lot to get to, it is staggering how small the voices are.
Man, Joe Scarborough is fuming today. Fuming.
I mean, Republican.
Heard his whole family will be under that bill. Is that true? So it's not a bill. It's not a law that's being passed. It is an agreement, a quote settlement agreement between Trump and the IRS that him and his family and his extended family and his businesses that are owned by his family will not be subject to IRS, DOJ, SEC, Sinn Féin, scrutiny or investigation ever. So they can't be subject to legal, judicial, financial, any sort of scrutiny related to their finances ever.
Are beginning to push back here and there. We're hearing Senator John Thune say that he has his own opinions that may differ from the president, but it is hard. Yeah. It is really hard to fathom the concept of the J6 rioters who defecated on our nation's capital, being called protesters and being tried to be told that they somehow are being treated unfairly. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and you know, and these people who go and lie just repeatedly, like, well, that's not an insurrection. They were trying to overthrow.
That's our vice president who's saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's got to say that because the last time a vice president spoke up against Donald Trump didn't go well. That same crowd was looking for him on Jan 6. They erected a gallows. They chanted, "Hey, Mike Pence."
That's an insurrection.
Oh, that's the end. I forgot that MS Now does that with their clips. All right. On to some different stuff. Congress was getting spicy the other day.
Which are we going? No, I was just going to note they were 36 seconds over, and I think Ms. Crockett needs to catch an airplane so she could go first.
LA from Texas, then we'll come to the gentleman from Florida.
Well. It is so hard to sit here and listen to this. That's one reason I watched the majority of this and didn't actually sit in this room, because I'm sure my faces would have told everything that I was thinking. Is there anyone that finds it odd? Well, can we start here? I'm gonna start with the entire panel. Are the Proud Boys a white supremacist organization? Yes or no? Starting with Ms. Wiley.
Does anyone want to take a guess? I'll give the chat a minute. Anyone want to take a guess what the responses of these panelists are gonna be?
This is sick shit.
I'll give y'all a second. I know there's a delay. Anyone want to take a guess on how this is going to go down? How many of these people are going to say that the Proud Boys are a white nationalist party or a white nationalist group? Because it's not great.
It is my view they are.
Ooh, we got one.
It depends on how you define it. I have a book.
Okay, never mind.
It depends on how you define it.
It's a yes or no. Proud Boys, how they define themselves. Are they white supremacists, yes or no?
I have not read a description of how they define themselves.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not on their mailing list. I don't know.
So are you only on the mailing list of?
I'm not like the SPLC. I don't fund organizations that I'm.
Oh, it just seemed like you were saying because you haven't received their mail, you only receive the mail of white supremacists. But go ahead, last witness.
No, they're not white supremacists.
And you know what? I do believe that y'all believe that. Let's try another one. Neo-Nazis, Miss Wiley.
Well, yes.
What?
Nazis is in their name. Neo-Nazis, Dr. Swain.
Is the question still about the Proud Boys, or is it about the
neo-Nazis? We have moved on. Neo-Nazis.
Neo-Nazis are hate groups, and I have a book, 2002.
Okay, thank you so much.
So we're going to that I suggest that you all read.
I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time. Neo-Nazis. Are they white supremacists?
We got a couple comments in the chat here. The Proud Boys are a white supremacist organization. Chris C said that the Proud Boys are officially designated as a terrorist organization in Canada and New Zealand, but they are not classified as a terrorist organization by the United States government. I wonder why. Maybe it's because most of them work for fucking ICE now.
Neo-Nazis, are they white supremacists?
Yes or no?
Yeah, lady, stop selling your book. Just answer the questions.
What's that?
Yes or no?
They're certainly anti-Semitic, which I would join with any member of the Democratic Party. Mr. Nadler earlier was talking about standing up for the Jewish
reclaiming my time.
Happy to
Next.
do that.
Yes, they're white supremacists.
Woo, thank God. Jesus Christ, I didn't think we were going to get there. Oh my gosh, let me be clear. Proud Boys are freaking white supremacists. Neo-Nazis are too. And this president, who loves to coddle white supremacists, has decided that they should be given checks. The reasons that I pointed to those particular organizations is because you can go and read, I don't know how many articles, as Dr. Swain wants people to read up. I'm going to be clear. I've read my fair share of books. I do have my fair share of degrees. It is clear that neo-Nazis as well as Proud Boys joined in on January 6th. Yet this slush fund that they keep talking about is specifically to give them money. So how dare this majority sit here and try to lecture this organization about money? Now, we're not talking about tax-paying dollars as we are in that slush fund. But you're telling me that $2 billion in the same country that I'm sure some of y'all would struggle with whether or not the enslavement of Black people was good or bad. I'm not even going to go there and ask y'all the question because y'all struggle with defining that these people were white supremacists. But this country still hasn't thought that reparations made sense for Black folk in this country. But at the same time, they've decided that people that are in organizations that are absolutely white supremacy organizations should get our tax dollars because they decided to tear apart or attempt to tear apart our democracy. They are being rewarded. These are people that went through our criminal justice system. When people on that side of the aisle claim that they love law and order, they went through it. They either entered pleas of guilty or they were found guilty. And this president, on day one, his priority was not around racism. It was around doing things like letting them go and now putting money in their pockets. We haven't had one hearing on white supremacy. Yet when we look at things like the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the 9 worshipers who were murdered at the Mother Emanuel AME Church, the 23 people murdered in 2019 during the shooting at Walmart in El Paso, the 10 people murdered during the 2022 shooting at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York. All of these were murdered by white supremacists who are empowered by the Republican Party's racist rhetoric and policies. This is the same party that wants to drag us back to the Jim Crow era. Some say that there aren't poll taxes, and I guess it's because they're not listing the amount of money. But when you tell somebody that they've got to go and pay for something, say, like a passport that costs over $100 in order to be able to vote, that looks like a poll tax to me. Some of y'all need to read up on your history books, the very same ones that the Republicans have decided that people should not hear about because you don't want real history taught in our schools because you're afraid that it's going to hurt people's feelings to know that their ancestors were so savage that they would enslave Black folk. You don't want them to understand why the 14th Amendment mattered then and it matters today. You don't want them to understand that when they draw these racist lines and tell Black folk that they shouldn't have representation in this country, that it is against the Constitution. You want them to be ignorant so that they can sit up here and be your token for your mission.
Has expired. Well, you can't yield because you've done run out of time.
Oof. That's going straight on Unbox tonight, by the way. That is going straight to Unbox. I did not want to interrupt the Congresswoman because she was on a roll. So, hard agree with everything that she said. And I don't know who the people in this panel were and why they couldn't answer that question. And let's see if we can get these people. We'll have to go back and find out who these people were and why they were on this panel. Comment from the chat. The slush fund is announced as a plan to distract from the right to release filed by AG on Trump's behalf. Look into it. Could do that. And obviously, like the slush fund thing is fucking crazy. Trump knew that he was suing his own fucking branch of government. Like, it's so fucking out of control. It's just ridiculous. We got more craziness in Congress.
Case, and they never did.
Thank you, Mr. Grum. I see my time's expired. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Hirono.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's absolutely no question that racial discrimination existed in our country, and in many places, people would argue that it still does. And so we had all kinds of ways to keep Black people from voting. We had poll taxes, we had literacy tests, we had, I think some places even required them to count how many jelly beans were in a jar. All kinds of ways to keep Black people from voting. This happened.
This is a read your history, you learn from history moment. Where is he? Oh no.
Read history. You learn from history.
I don't think anybody can deny that that was going on. And as far as I'm concerned, there is a pattern now of voter suppression going on in our country right now. And the Calais decision just plays into that by pretty much gutting the Voting Rights Act, which, by the way, was reaffirmed.
Mikey, you're muted. I can't even yell at you because you're muted.
God damn, you're an embarrassment.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Oh, good. Now I can yell at you because you can hear me.
Hi, sorry. Good morning. What time is it?
It's 1 in the afternoon, Mikey.
I've been asleep for 3 hours.
Oh man.
She didn't go to sleep till 6, dude.
Well,
crazy. She wasn't even being bad.
It's time to start drugging her.
You know, the old whiskey on the gums makes a lot more sense. There's a little motherfucker. Bro, you gonna have, like, they have infinite energy. Like, the motor can run forever unless it gets, like, stuck in a corner. But it'll run forever. I'm not built for this, Tim. I'm too old. Too old and thin. I can't fight.
So you missed the first part of the show, but we talked about Jeff Bezos blaming the high cost of everything on government spending.
Jeff Bezos.
Yep.
Because that's what we do now.
Yeah.
We worship money.
Yes. And he was like, you can't villainize billionaires. We're not the problem here. It's the government that's the problem.
Yeah, they're not taxing you.
Yeah, they're not taxing you enough, bro.
And if they don't want to do it, how will we get their money away from them?
And he was like, "Oh, I came up with a solution. How about the government spends less money, and then you won't have to tax people so much."
They don't barely spend anything.
Well, I mean, they could probably stop spending money on Jeff Bezos's companies.
An infinite war.
Yeah, you know, get rid of that military-industrial complex.
And by the way, hi y'all. Sorry I'm late. Hi Tim. Sorry I'm late. Jokes aside, hi and sorry.
You're forgiven.
I was ready to go and I was like, oh, we're gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna talk about. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm laying on my phone, it's vibrating. Kristen's calling me like, wake up, wake up, wake up. Nope, I laid on top of my phone. There is no waking me up. Nothing can wake me now. I am invincible.
Oh, great. We just watched Jasmine Crockett yell at some panel of people who couldn't say that the Proud Boys were white supremacists.
Oh, let me see if I can find the thing. This is what I was going to put on the list, but go on.
And it's attracted some trolls to the chat.
Oh, hey, trolls, you got about 3 seconds before I click on the fucking chat window. You better fucking adjust your fucking attitude before I get over there. If you've been picking on fucking Tim, because I ain't been here.
No, it's fine. We got the mods in the chat. But this person says, you're either American or you're not. Your skin color doesn't mean shit. Segregation has ended.
How about dual citizenship, stupid fuck? You ever thought about that? You ever thought about that?
Right, that statement is fundamentally incorrect.
That fundamentally shows me you're a fucking crayon eater. Shut up. Shut up back there. You shut your mouth.
Mikey's not having it today.
I ain't playing no bullshit with y'all. You shut your mouth, grumpy. You shut up. You shut up or you read a book right now.
Also, I would like to point out to the person in the chat that while government sanctioned segregation ended, de facto segregation still exists everywhere.
Tim, can you believe it actually happened?
Jim Crow.
and the Supreme Court has also said that segregation is fine, guys. Whatever, who cares?
Pathetic. They are effing pathetic.
Thank you, Rudy.
Segregation was never ended in America. Only government sanctioned segregation.
I'm from St. Louis, which is to this day one of the most segregated cities on earth. Like it might as well be like Israel, West Bank, Gaza. Like
the state of
people live on the north side, white people live on the south side, rich people live on the west side.
Right.
That's it.
The state of Connecticut's school system is entirely segregated. It's de facto segregation, but
in sixth grade, I didn't go to school with any white kids.
It's more segregated than it was in the 60s.
Yeah, because there's more people. So like percentage wise, it's more segregated.
Right. So while the Jim Crow laws did go away, segregation never went away.
No. Did white people grow up overnight? No.
White flight still existed.
Yeah.
Read a book.
Let me see. Now he done struck me. Now he's done got my. Did he get execute order 66? Oh, he's just shutting up. Oh, well, that's good.
No, he's still there. Anyway, we're now.
I'm docked.
They took away some points. We'll get to watch the Jasmine Crockett video again on Unboxed because she is in top form in that.
It's getting close to the wire now. It's getting close to the skin now.
Yeah, but we have a bit of a scuffle between Ted Cruz and Senator Hirono.
Is to keep black people from voting. This happened. I don't think anybody can deny that that was going on. And as far as I'm concerned, there is a pattern now of voter suppression going on in our country right now. And the Calais decision just plays into that by pretty much gutting the Voting Rights Act, which, by the way, was reaffirmed many times in a bipartisan way in acknowledging that this kind of racial discrimination occurred and that as a democratic country where everybody has an equal vote, that's not tolerable. But suddenly it's a-okay just because the Supreme Court says so. No, it's not the entire Supreme Court. It's a 63 majority, which I consider to be basically an out of control Supreme Court majority where there is a pattern of this kind of decisions out of this court. So just because this court says so doesn't mean I agree with them. So meanwhile, there is voter suppression going on. You have an attorney general who sued at least 29 states to get these states to turn over their voter rolls. Why? What does the Department of Justice, what does the executive branch want to do with all this voter information?
Damn it.
Up to no good, I would say. And there's this huge push to pass the SAVE Act. It's more Save Trump Act. And what does that act do? It would require millions and millions, all of us who are registered to vote, suddenly we will have to show proof of citizenship, either through a birth certificate or a passport. Millions of people don't have either. Married people who...
Oh, and Jasmine Crockett called that a poll tax, which it is.
I just got into an argument last week with somebody. They're like, it's not a poll tax because it says like, or other taxes or duties. Or fees or fines. It says it says it in the. It's like you can't make people pay for shit to vote. Anything.
If it costs you 1 penny to vote,
unconstitutional.
Yeah. Obviously, aside from like getting to your polling place, you still have to get to the polling place. But
yeah,
if it costs you an actual penny to get a piece of paper so that you can vote, then it's illegal.
And I don't know if every state does it, but the way we do it, like my polling station is like a mile away.
Yeah, mine's a few miles. I mean, I live in the fucking mountains, so mine's a little
Yeah.
farther than that, but yeah.
But it's like not super distant. So if I didn't have a car, I could still get there. And that's the closest place to me is the only place where my vote will actually count, because that's where the vote is supposed to show up. If it shows up anywhere else, it doesn't count.
So, a question from Chris C. Why are the southern states more racist than the northern states? I would argue they're not. Is it because the majority of slave owners and plantations are based in the southern states? So, I think the idea that the southern states were more racist than the northern states is kind of wrong. I think they were all pretty much the same amount of racism. It's just that the northern states were already abolitionist states, and the southern states needed racism and slavery to keep their economy going.
And there was more black people in the South.
Like, there were slaves in the North.
Mm-hmm.
And there was indentureship in the North, and the North still had de facto segregation, but they didn't overtly put it into law as much as the South did.
Right.
But I would argue that, like I said before, Connecticut is still pretty racist.
Yeah.
Black people were barred from going to the beaches. Kind of racism.
Cornell West had a swimming pool emptied whilst he was swimming in it.
Right.
Because his dirty black skin was in there. So they drained the fucking water when there was a kid in the pool. That kid grew up to be Cornell West.
Like, it's the North had what and we in politics refer to as armchair liberals, people who would sort of vie for equal rights and sit down and say we should do this, we should do that, and when it came down to actually doing those things, not actually do them. But they were saving face. They weren't overtly racist. However, they didn't want black people in their pools.
Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden. These are racist white liberals.
Yeah.
They fucking can't stand black people, but they're Democrats. So they have to, pander to black people to get their vote so that they can, control the blacks.
Like,
we're not confused about what it is, but they all think they're so clever for coming up with a new solution.
In the regard of formalizing racism into policy, yes, the South wins hands down.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still, a lot of people who are just, discriminated against because of the color of their skin, or how they act, or how they look, or their sexual preferences, or whatever. In the North, in liberal states, because those kind of people, the people who discriminate against those people, exist everywhere.
Fucking Bernie Sanders, I don't know if we can, I'll find it in a minute. There's a photo of him being arrested back in the 60s, 50s, 60s maybe. He chained himself to a black woman because they were protesting segregated housing in Chicago.
Right. I mean,
that's very north.
That's why we're out there supporting Bernie, because he's been for the cause the entire time.
He's a real one. Brother was 60 years ago getting arrested for black people. He's about that life.
He's been arrested protecting people several times.
Yeah.
And
because like John Lewis, like people walk around throwing rose petals for fucking John Fetterman just because he had a stroke and then woke up thinking he was Israeli. But fucking John Lewis is not a huge guy. He was probably like 5'5", 5'6". Fucking racist ass Klansmen cops, and they fucking crossed that fucking bridge, the Pettus Bridge. Dude took a nightstick to the fucking dome piece, saw that shit coming, and went. Because that's what they needed to shut the shit down and need the cops to get in trouble. So there it was. That's where we're headed, and I don't think people are built for that moment.
Yeah,
they're not ready for it.
But good question, Chrissy. And at least in my view, it's the South formalized it in a way that the North wouldn't.
2
And
British pounds.
we will. Yeah. Viper Scott already put in the funds for the show, but we are going to do it.
These were the free speech advocates.
After this video.
Thank you, Viper Scott.
Take their partner's name, will not have a name that matches their birth certificate. So what are they going to do? There are going to be millions of people who are not even going to register to. And you think, know that? Of course he does. That's why he wants the SAVE Act to be enacted. That's why the Republicans would like to see the SAVE Act enacted, because they know that millions.
Oh, and I just want to say, case in point on the whole, the North was also racist thing. The part of the Constitution that we went through, go watch the civics show, about the 3/5 Amendment, where 3/5 of slaves were considered to be citizens for the
Missouri Compromise.
The Connecticut Compromise.
What? Connecticut?
Yeah. Roger Sherman, famous Connecticut guy,
the tank
was the
guy?
one who, not different guy, the only person to have signed all of our original founding documents from Connecticut, proposed the 3/5 Amendment. So that's where Connecticut was.
Oops.
So the North was completely complacent in slavery in the Constitution the entire time. They're like, we'll deal with this later, maybe, I guess.
They shouldn't be doing that. Aren't you guys kind of low-key doing that too? They shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
They're so wrong for doing that. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Exactly.
Doing the
So,
same shit.
Yeah, that is sort of maybe a false narrative about the northern states, is that there were states that were abolitionists for sure.
Yeah.
But they weren't anti-racism.
And most of the Civil War was about like the new Western territory and how much of that was going to be slavery was going to be allowed in those states. That's what the fight was over.
Right.
Was the westward expansion and how much slavery could push out west. That's what they wanted to do, but that's when the war started. And the North didn't want to save black people. They were like, oh, the South can't have all those slave states. They'll be taking over. No more slavery. They just did it to preserve their place in the hierarchy, not because they gave a shit about black people.
Yeah, the 3/5 Compromise was more about protecting the North's representation in Congress rather than protecting slaves.
Right. Despite what the kente cloth kneeling ass lying bitches will say.
Disenfranchised by not even being able to allow to vote. And then with this regime, once you do vote, they will challenge your vote, as they did in the last elections. So voter suppression is going on. It's very reminiscent to the kind of stuff that was going on that the Voting Rights Act was intended to address, to fix. And now you have a Supreme Court that says, oh, never mind all of that. Never mind all of that history. And over 3 cases, they succeeded in gutting the Voting Rights Act. And don't tell me that the provisions of the Voting Rights Act still exist in a way that is pretty much unenforceable, because the racial gerrymandering is going to be okay unless the legislative body that does the gerrymandering says, oh, by the way, we intend to racially discriminate. Are you crazy? You think that state legislators are going to be that overt about it? Of course not. So you have a Voting Rights Act that you claim is still intact. Please give me a break. I have a question for Mr. Cox. Last weekend, thousands of people, and apparently you were among them, gathered to protest the Supreme Court's gutting of the Voting Rights Act. The central locations for these protests were Montgomery and Selma, Alabama, and both significant sites in American civil rights history. Mr. Cox, can you put this current moment into historical context for us? For instance, why is this moment reminiscent of when the last Congressman, John Lewis, who many of us consider a friend and hero, led over 600 peaceful protesters across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama?
Hey, I said that.
Thank you, Senator Hirono, for that question. I think it's reminiscent and reflects the fact that the vote.
Man, his name is spelled backwards.
What?
His name is backwards. Because the mirror effect of the camera, his name is backwards.
It looks right to me.
Really?
Yeah.
It
Mr.
looks
Todd A. Cox.
right, but it's backwards, isn't it?
No.
All right. My brain is playing tricks on me.
I'll be right back.
Voting Rights Act was not given to us. It was not bestowed on us. It really came from the people. And the joke I'm sort of making is that Justice O'Connor used to say were more lawyers in D.C. than people. I think we sometimes feel that way in D.C. We're on the Hill. Lawyers are at the center of the universe, and that's just not true.
I guess I'm just wrong.
If we're going to climb out of this destruction of the Voting Rights Act, the penultimate destruction of our democracy, is going to require the people. And quite frankly, we're being gaslit. We have a Supreme Court, we have allies of the Supreme Court and allies of the Calais case saying discrimination is over. Obviously not true. We have folks on the ground showing and discussing with us that law enforcement are at the polling places. We have folks not only confused, but being discriminated against right now. And I have to say that to ignore the fact that the people are demanding that Congress respond, that Congress restore the effects test that has been gutted and taken out by Calais would be a mistake, because folks understand and know what is happening outside in the real world. They know, particularly Black voters know, that they aren't going to return to the 1800s and what we all experienced, or our ancestors experienced, that led us to the Voting Rights Act in the first place.
There is so much more to say, but I fear my time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would point out that my colleague from Hawaii questions whether or not people would be overtly discriminatory in the words that they would say. I will just point out to the California map maker who said the number one thing he was focused on was creating a racially gerrymandered district. So people do say it. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a moment ago, our colleague, Senator Hirono, said there's a lot more to say, and indeed, she's right. And in fact, I want to go back to her comments. She began by saying we have a long history of racial discrimination in this country. That's undoubtedly correct. And then she said, quote, we had poll taxes, we had literacy tests, we even had tests of how many jelly beans are in a jar. Mr. Chamberlain, when Senator Hirono says we had poll taxes, I want to ask you who we is, and in particular, what party was it that implemented
Oh my God, Ted Cruz, shut the fuck up. I hate this argument so much.
Fuck the hell off.
Like, is he lying or is he stupid? Put in your votes now.
I'm so tired of this argument. Yes, God, it was the Democrats. And yes, they were conservative at the time. And yes, they were segregationists at the time. But then there was a party realignment. And now all the segregationists and conservatives are in the Republican Party. It's the same people. They just switched parties. I'm so fucking tired of this argument. It's such bullshit. Where's read history? Fucking, you learn from history. There we go.
Read history. You learn from history.
That's not how it works, Ted Cruz.
taxes in the South?
And I don't want to necessarily speak in every single case, but I'm pretty confident it was mostly the Democrats.
And what party was it that put literacy tests in place in the South?
Same answer, mostly the Democrats.
And what party was it that had tests like how many jelly beans are in a bottle?
The Democrats.
It was conservatives. It was segregationist, racist conservatives who were in the Democratic Party. Read a book. Yes, they were the segregationist party. But they aren't anymore. There was a party realignment in the 60s and the 70s. You can look at any map. Pre-civil rights movement and post-civil rights movement. And you will see where all the conservatives went. You can see where I'll fucking show you. I'll look them up while I'm playing this video. I'll look it up. Because it's ridiculous. This argument is ridiculous. Tons of mice, $5, Tim's Hat 2026. Am I blind?
Tell me, what party were the founders of the Ku Klux Klan from?
I'm pretty sure that was the Democrats.
Indeed, in fact, Nathan Bedford Forrest, the founder of the Klan, was a delegate to the 1860 Democrat National Convention. What party wrote the Jim Crow laws in the South?
The
Conservatives.
And so on this side of the aisle were members of the Republican Party. Who was the first Republican president?
Abraham Lincoln.
The Republican Party was literally founded to oppose slavery.
And then the conservatives took it over and said, fuck all that.
I made it. Oof.
Mikey, Ted Cruz, I hate him so much.
His name is Raphael.
The Zodiac Killer.
He want a dead name, motherfuckers. His name is Raphael for the rest of his fucking life.
Here we go, Mikey. This is what infuriates me about these motherfuckers.
Say it, Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a moment ago, our colleague Senator Hirono said there's a lot more to say, and indeed she's right. And in fact, I want to go back to her comments. She began by saying we have a long history of racial discrimination in this country. That's undoubtedly correct. And then she said, quote, we had poll taxes, we had literacy tests, we even had tests of how many jelly beans are in a jar. Mr. Chamberlain, when Senator Hirono says we had poll taxes, I want to ask you who we is, and in particular, what party was it that implemented poll taxes in the South?
I mean, I don't want to necessarily speak in every single case, but I'm pretty confident it was mostly the Democrats.
And what party was it that put literacy tests in place in the South?
Cruz,
Same answer.
Raphael, Cruzador.
Yeah.
You know that the parties don't represent the ideology, and you know that there's been several shifts back and forth. How fucking tacky.
I know.
What a rat. You know what? I got a background for him. I had a background just in case his little Templeton the rat stupid fuck ass fucking showed up again, and I knew I'd need this. Yeah, everybody clap it up for Templeton out there. Who's out there? You know, it was Democrats who were the Southern Dixies. They were the Dixiecrats, is what they would call themselves. Like, shut up, dude. Fucking 8th grade social studies teacher could fucking debunk this guy. Actually, an 8th grade history teacher student could debunk this guy.
Right.
After week 3.
And what party was it that had tests like how many jelly beans are in a bottle?
The Democrats.
Tell me,
the conservative
party
Democrat.
were the founders of the Ku Klux Klan from?
I'm pretty sure that was the Democrats.
Indeed. In fact, Nathan Bedford Forrest, the founder of the Klan, was a delegate to the 1860 Democrat National Convention. What party wrote the Jim Crow laws in the South?
The Democrats.
Okay. Pause it.
And
Pause it. Great. Let's remove all the Confederate statues then.
Right.
Because Democrats who want the statues removed are finding Republican opposition to pulling down these Democratic statues. Why is that?
I don't know.
Why are they supporting Democrats all? Ted Cruz, why do you support Democratic statues all over the South?
And I just want to point out real quick.
He's
share
ugly.
this map
and he's
here.
stupid.
This is the
and nobody
election
likes him.
that Ted Cruz is referring to here, the one where Lincoln won. Right? Okay.
Scroll up a little bit. Can we see the? I can't see what the title of anything is. It's just ad.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, ad.
Yeah, like what are we looking at here? Ads on the right too. Damn.
Come on, you know what? 270 to win. Get the fuck over all your ads.
They said we got bills to pay.
Whatever. I'll make it a little bit bigger.
Can you right click open image in new tab, or is it part of a graphic thing?
I think it's part of a graphic. But anyway, I think this is good enough. So the blue here is the Democrat running for president in 1860. His name is Breckinridge. And then the red here is Lincoln.
So Senator Ted Cruz in 1860, which direction did Texas vote? Which direction did Arkansas vote? Which direction did Louisiana? Why did they all vote for Democrats if these are Republican stronghold states? Why is that?
I don't know. And why is it that Connecticut and New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Illinois vote for the Republican Abraham Lincoln? Could it be that Republicans in 1860 were fucking liberals?
It doesn't get this is can we screenshot this? Let me get a little snap because this is exactly the perfect little thing we need to show is the map from 1860. And just be like, here. Show me why or tell me why California is a red state, Oregon is a red state, and Florida and Texas are blue states. Explain. You tell me why.
Yeah, Mikey has been eaten by a rat.
Feasts. We're gonna have feasts.
And then let's see. You got that screenshot, Mikey?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go back to the video for a second. I'm going to bring up a more current map.
So on this side of the aisle were members of the Republican Party. Who was the first Republican president?
Abraham Lincoln.
The Republican Party was literally founded to oppose slavery. We came into existence because slavery was a grotesque evil. And it was President Lincoln, the first Republican president, who signed the Emancipation
It's funny. Ted Cruz probably wouldn't have been in that Republican Party.
Ted Cruz would have been on a plantation with his stupid ass over here cooning with these white folks like they give a shit about. Raphael, you better hope you are on a pass list or whatever, because when this shit goes all the way wide open, you looking a little brown there, baby.
Proclamation, who won the Civil War, and that resulted in the freeing of the slaves and the passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. By the way, fast forward to the Civil Rights era. Bull Connor, one of the most noxiously racist politicians. What party was he from?
He was a Democrat.
The Democrats, for the entire history of their party, have been a party based on racial discrimination. They affirmatively embrace it. They support it. Let me ask you, Mr. Grime, is discrimination?
I forgot how annoying Ted Cruz is. I forgot. Like the fact that he's making a ninth grade argument when 10th grade social studies would solve this. Like this is, and he does this he's been doing this for years, taking every little misunderstanding and making it into like his grand vizier announcement on high. Like, oh, stop, Zero.
You tell him. So we have here a presidential election map from 2012. Obama-Romney. Now, if you'll draw your attention to the map, it seems the colors have flipped.
Why? I wonder.
Why are all the former red states blue states now? And why are all the blue states in the South? Oh, with the exception of Florida, who Obama won. Why are Texas and Alabama and Georgia and Arkansas and Louisiana, why are they all red states now? Could it be that the ideologies of the party had switched? And could it be that the politics of those states never fucking changed? Just the parties they represented changed?
He fucking knows that.
He does.
He's a fucking piece of shit. He knows that.
And if you look at all of the presidential elections from 1860 all the way to 2012, you can see the transition happen. It happened slowly. You can see it happen in real time, with the exception of like a few presidents like Reagan, who won like 49 states at one point. It happened slowly over time.
Remember when he said the KKK was Democrats? And so that's why Zoran Mamdani, known KKK supporter,
Right.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, Gavin Newsom, all these
Bernie Sanders.
all these blue areas, they're just known for the KKK presence they have.
Obama in particular, Democrat, loved the KKK.
He loved the KKK in Chicagoland. like he knows this is a fucking, like, I hate the format of all this shit. And that, like, at points like these, I wish we had more of a parliamentary system or even like a fucking Pierce Morgan YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, people need to be able to scream back at him in real time.
And just tell him to shut the fuck up. Fuck the hell off.
He's so full of it. He's just so full of it.
Ted Cruz gets a permanent.
Fuck the hell off.
Should send him a free shirt. Ted, we just thought you should have this.
What does the 14th Amendment say about discrimination based on race?
It's prohibited.
What does the 15th Amendment say about discriminating based on race, and in particular, drawing congressional lines and explicitly discriminating based on race?
Well, Ted Cruz, if you watched our civics show, you'd fucking know.
Yeah. Instead, you got an intern holding up a board.
Prohibited.
Now, the Democrats are fond of telling this story that, and I wish I could find a kinder way to say it, a flat out lie, that without discriminating based on race, that no African Americans will be elected and no Hispanics will be elected. Indeed, there was one fellow online who was a vocal left.
I went on Twitter to find what the left was thinking. We're not on Twitter anymore, dog.
Yeah, man.
That shit's Naziville now.
I'm advising anybody to run for president. They sure as hell better have a solution to how you make sure that it's not another 100 years before another black person can represent South Carolina. So that's a typical Democrat statement, that we cannot elect a.
I mean, they do have a black person representing South Carolina. His name is Uncle Tom. I mean, Tim Scott.
See, he's black. You're all the same, so he's a black. That counts.
I don't think I've ever seen someone kiss the ring as much as Tim Scott or Ted Cruz.
I love you. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
And then Trump was like, thanks.
Trump was like, get away from me.
Don't touch me skin to skin.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna catch whatever you got.
Black
person in South Carolina without discriminating based on race. I want to ask you, Mr. Chamberlain, who is the junior senator from South Carolina right now?
That would be Tim Scott.
Oh man, see, I didn't watch this video. We're watching it now.
We're precogs.
I fucking can tell the future.
We're gonna make a picture, and we're all gonna be doing the pose or like this, and we're gonna focus our third eye right at the camera, and then the Illuminati symbol is gonna glow in everybody's eyes, and then the world will be ours. Infinite Tsukiyomi.
God damn
Release.
And
I hate this place. 5 British pound super chat.
Flip.
Tim Mikey, how does USA folks not know this? Because UK folks know the parties in history do switch education systems. Are the education systems knackered then? Yes.
Also, some of them are just lying. Because this is the thing. We're in the realm of alternative facts. So these people think that they have this special insider info, like fucking.
Oh, wait.
Is he lying or is he stupid? Put in your votes now.
I think it's both. Because they're stupid because they believe such obvious dumb shit that they could just Google, but they'll just be like, oh yeah, that's right. The Klan is Democrats. They didn't know that shit. They didn't know about Indiana and how their primaries were going and how the Klan had a foothold and getting things separate. They don't understand any of that. They don't know that intricate, nuanced dribble that like me and Tim will like scoop up in a spoon and just put that shit right in my veins, baby. But everybody else is not like that. Oh, I was looking up Nelly.
Nelly.
Yeah, your boy Nelly.
My boy Nelly?
Yeah, your boy Nelly.
Okay. Here's the problem is that where Ted Cruz is from, I'm sorry, the Zodiac Killer, where he's from. So Texas represents about 1 in 10 of all students in the national school system, right? In education. So Texas has an outsized say in what goes on with our nation's textbooks. And Texas would rather we believe that slavery didn't exist. And so when textbook publishers, who some of them are based in Texas, write these books, Texas lobbies them to be like, racism wasn't that bad, right, guys?
Actually, the blacks learned skills. Remember?
They learned skills. In
They
fact,
just
it wasn't
went to-
slavery. They got paid with skills.
Yeah, they just got a trade, like blacksmithing. That's what they all did. They all learned how to code. Anyway,
What do you say to the people that say we're not giving you this backlash because of your political affiliation or your political choice or whatever?
I don't know what this corny fucking music is, but we'll just have to risk it.
We're giving you this
It's got the remix thing on there, so we might be okay.
backlash because you are propping up a white supremacist.
I would ask them to show me where he's a white supremacist.
Yeah, show him where Trump is a white supremacist. That's who we're talking about.
And here's the thing. Okay, I get it. He did say if you don't vote for me, you're not black, right? Oh no, that wasn't him. That wasn't him. He did create
Did anybody vote for Biden in 2024? Anybody? If you're out there, raise your hand if you voted for Joe Biden in 2024. Just raise your hand. Put a 1 in the chat. If you voted for Joe Biden in 2024, I don't know what to do with you. He's not running. You wrote him in?
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
He did create the crime bill in the 90s, which said that if you get caught with 5 grams of crack, you do a mandatory 5 years. That had mass incarceration, right? See, here's the thing. So we can talk about past, but we never want to talk about our past. That's why I'm not telling you who to vote for. But what I'm saying is that he's the president of the United States. He's not the candidate for the.
Oh, Mike, you're muted.
Starting. There we go. The Klan was black, or the Klan was Democrats and all that. He it's like his follow-up points because that one didn't work out the way he wanted to with the guy. So then he says the exact fucking same shit that fucking Ted Cruz just said out of Nelly's mouth.
Right. And I want to say to the person I banned in the chat, if you're still watching, go fuck yourself.
What do you say?
He said, don't chimp out.
Oh, hey. Where's your buddy? Where's your pal? Taking Aryan cock to the fucking mouthpiece right now. Because he's new.
Anyway, we won't be seeing him again.
And your buddy won't be seeing the outside of anywhere anymore.
Ha ha!
You ain't gonna make it. Yeah, you can try that whole, I'm gonna rage bait black people. Motherfucker sitting in jail with black people. Keep it up. Keep it right up.
All right, I'll tell you what I said
on in Illinois. He didn't try that shit in St. Louis. We're all 2A around here. Try that shit.
Line. I said, "Hey, Grok, who is Tim Scott?"
Why would you ask Grok anything? Are you telling me, Ted Cruz, that you went to X and you were like, "Hey, Grok, who's Tim Scott?"
He said, can you print this out? I want to have a paper up there on them when they turn the cameras on me.
The same AI that said it was Mecha Hitler. You're like, who is Tim Scott?
It was a coding error.
Don't worry, Elon fixed it.
And why do Democrats think he isn't black? And by
He's
the
a
way,
self-hating
was Tim
black.
Scott elected because of a gerrymandered district drawn only to elect an African American?
No, he won statewide.
He won statewide. By the way, the Democrat position is you can only
Almost did
elect
something.
African
Never mind.
Americans with a gerrymandered district. I will point out Burgess Owens, an African American, is elected in a majority
Oh,
white district in the
Burgess.
state of Utah. He's a Republican. Byron Donalds, another African American, is elected in a majority white district in Florida. He is a Republican. John James, another African American, is
He's
elected
naming all 5 black people in the
I was
Republican
about
Party.
to say, keep going. Keep going. I got enough fingers. Keep going.
in the majority white district in Michigan. He is a Republican. And my own congressman, Wesley Hunt, who represents me in the House of Representatives, he is elected in the majority white district. He is a Republican. And yet in the Democrats' world,
I would like to point out that Tim Scott is the only black Republican in the Senate.
And here's what's so frustrating, guys. There's 535 people in Congress. He's named 5. And that is such a flex. 5. 5 out of 1 or 5 out of 535. Wow.
boy.
How
Oh, boy.
inclusive. How inclusive. They talking about some black people are only 13% of the population, so they shouldn't have accelerated. Okay, bet. We want some more senators.
Yeah.
Actually, Ted, let's get your spot. I can't wait until somebody black takes his seat. And then when crises happen, he can just stay in Cancun and he doesn't have to fly back here to pretend like he gave a shit.
you're not black if you're not a liberal Democrat. There is an arrogance to African American voters. By the way, they also have that same arrogance to Hispanic voters. They say you're not Hispanic if you're not a liberal Democrat. Well, I'll tell you, I am proud to be the first Hispanic ever elected to represent the state of Texas.
Who wants Trump to take over Cuba?
Yeah, don't tell him where you from.
Yeah, don't. you
Marco
and
too.
Marco, don't tell him where you're from.
You better say you Mexican. You better say you from Puerto Rico. Spain, shit. You better not say you from Cuba. A sleeper cell. They go, fuck, you better shut up.
In the United States Senate. And Mr. Chamberlain,
proud Cuban Canadian
in
American.
my election in Texas, was I elected in the gerrymandered district that could only elect an Hispanic?
No, you were elected statewide.
Discrimination based on race is wrong. Final question. The Democrats are now clutching their pearls that seats drawn to elect liberal Democrats in the South are going to go away. You may get black Republicans instead. Indeed, in Tennessee, they're freaking out that a liberal white guy who's a Democrat is likely going to lose his seat to an African-American woman who's a Republican, and they say that's horrible racial oppression.
Stop.
My final
What the
question
fuck
is this.
I know
If
what it
you
is,
look
Ted.
na-
It's the permanent straw manning.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Every single sentence is a straw man. No one has said any of this shit. He's saying that we're saying this shit.
I know. It's straw manning, and it's a false dichotomy, to be honest.
Yeah. Motherfucker, look at the Louisiana map and tell us we're crazy.
Right.
No
Adams
black seats.
Says Ted Cruz is the deep.
Yes, he is the deep. Did you finish?
No, I did not.
All right, so let me tell you about the finale.
Spoiler alert for the whole internet.
Homelander goes to Mars and lives there peacefully. The end.
Oh man, I knew he was Elon. I knew he was an Elon allegory.
He just runs. He just goes to another. He's like Dr. Manhattan. He just Dr. Manhattan's it. Goes to Mars, starts doing experiments. Doesn't bother anybody. Everybody just kind of mellows out. There's a kickball scene. Everyone plays kickball at the end, and they hug and kiss. Kisses for everyone. Credits. Roll credits.
Tons of mine says, no spoilers. I will turn this car around. God damn it.
No, I hate spoilers. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Mikey doesn't even watch trailers. That's how much he doesn't want anything.
Because it's literally spoilers. It's literally spoilers. Just give me what the movie's about and who's in it. I'm probably gonna say no anyway, so don't show me.
Mikey, the Street Fighter movie's about Ken.
I don't know what that movie's gonna be about. It's about the flop. Is what it's about to be about. Yeah, Han Solo dies.
God damn it!
At the end of The Boys.
Does Frodo ever make it to Mordor?
Yes, and then Thanos snaps the One Ring, and then oh my god, if Thanos got the One Ring.
And the Infinity Gauntlet. All right, the One Ring on one hand, the Infinity Gauntlet on the other hand.
Yes. Yes.
Nationwide, which party has egregiously abused gerrymandering for decades? Both parties are guilty of it, but who has been the worst offender? And in particular, take New England. Take Massachusetts, take Connecticut, take Rhode Island, take Maine, take Vermont.
What the
take
fuck
New
are you
Hampshire.
coming after? Whoa. Don't you come after Connecticut.
You piece of shit.
You piece of shit. We do. My representative is African-American. Joanna Hayes.
Ooh.
Don't come after Connecticut.
I needed more lembas.
He's bitching because there's no Republican representation in New England at all. They lost their last congressperson a few years ago.
Mitt Romney did just fine in Boston.
Yeah.
It's you guys don't have any fucking candidates because you don't have any fucking policy.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney was the last guy to have policy in your fucking party.
And
that was like they have literally written nothing since then except to give rich people more money. That's the only thing that they've written since Mitt Romney.
And Ted Cruz needs to go back and watch our last episode where we discussed the Massachusetts map. No, it's not that gerrymandered because how could you put a Republican district in there? It's fucking impossible.
There ain't enough of them.
There ain't enough of them. It's a 70-30 state. So is Connecticut.
The people in that area don't want bullshit Republican ideas. And also, there are none. You guys don't have any ideas. They just turn shit off and attack people. Like, that's the only thing that they know how to do. They have not turned one thing on. They have not built anything that helps people yet.
And
we're still waiting.
To be honest, it's the same with Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
The Connecticut Republican Party is in danger of becoming a minority party in the state. They have less than 22% of the voter registration. So it has nothing to do with gerrymandered districts. Our districts are fucking huge. The problem is nobody wants to be a Republican in this state.
Right.
And I'm sure the same is true of Massachusetts or Vermont. Can you imagine? The only place you might get a Republican congressperson is New Hampshire because those people are fucking weird.
I mean, Illinois got a couple.
Right, but Illinois is a huge state.
It is true. We're very tall.
You have what, 11 congressional districts?
Yeah.
So
no, more than that. I think it's, let me see.
Connecticut, we only have 5. Because our population is like under 5 million people.
Yeah, we got more than that.
Yeah. And you're lucky that New York doesn't decide to fucking gerrymander and get rid of all of those Republican districts because they fucking could.
17.
17? Yeah. You guys have a lot. So, you know.
We'll pull it up. One moment. There you go. There she is. She's so beautiful.
Wow. There are some gerrymandered districts in there. Jesus.
What you mean?
Scroll down a little. District 13. What the fuck is up with that?
Okay, so 13 has the black people.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's got East St. Louis, Springfield, Macon, and Champaign-Urbana. These are where the schools are too, except for U of I, which is in Bloomington Normal.
And I suppose if you scroll up, Chicago is a couple of different districts.
Oh, there's multiple in there. But I mean, like, but at the end of the
17th is pretty fucking gerrymandered too.
Yeah, but okay, you guys can't see like a satellite map of this, but where's Cat? So this orange one right next to 11 right here, this is the one Cat was running for.
Yeah.
That's the north side of Chicago and all the way out here, which is go over. There we go. Which is hella far. All the way, like this is hella far. This is like an hour and a half out from, maybe 2 hours from the city with traffic and stuff like that. But so you got the whole rest of the state, dude. I'm in this district 14. It's all cornfields by me. Out here, bro, it's literally Iowa. It's literally Iowa. There's nothing out here. Nothing. It is just.
Are you telling me there's nothing in Peoria?
No. I'm hundreds of miles. We have fields and fields and all of this is fields. There's a couple of like okay-ish sized towns, but no. All of the cities with more than like 100,000 people are up here in the populated Chicagoland area.
Why is your state capital Springfield and not Chicago?
It is our third state capital. We used to have Kaskaskia and
I see. Connecticut went through a bit of that. Our state capital used to be Bridgeport. Now it's Hartford.
And because the state is so long, they had one down south and then it actually flooded. They had one way up north and then it was horrible in the winter. So Springfield is in the middle of the state and it's the easiest for all the farmers to get to. The more you know.
Look at this fucking guy.
Nice pants. What the fuck do Demorst? What the fuck, dude? Demorst.
So what's Demorst?
Demorsts promote, but fraud and dishonesty. They're nothing but dishonesty. They're nothing but carpetbaggers over those. So, hey Stanley, I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and take 5 and then just try that again, because that is. Frankly, I don't trust either party. Both are corruptible. But the Republicans are the lesser of the. No, they're not. You can't tell me you read something and then came to that conclusion. I'm sorry, like you can't, Stanley. Stanley, you're lying. Okay, Stanley.
Stanley, take a minute.
Stanley, fix. I am also a Demorst now.
Yeah, I'm a Demorst. And when you want to say R, don't just type the letter R. Use ARE.
It's like remember Cow and Chicken, and then they had that fucking spinoff show, I Am Weasel.
Yeah.
I are Babu.
Have some goddamn common decency.
Use syntax, damn it.
How many Republicans are elected from all of New England in the House of Representatives?
The answer to that is zero.
Zero. They've drawn every district in a naked gerrymander, and yet they're very upset that
nobody fucking lives in New England, bud. Nobody lives here. We have as many representatives as the entire state of New York.
Right.
Nobody lives here.
Yeah, compared to New York. Yeah, you guys are in the shadow of a colossus. Living in the footprints of a T-Rex or something.
Massachusetts is the most populous state.
City.
No, state. Massachusetts. The state of Massachusetts has the most people in any of all of New England.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
That's it. That's not even close to the state of New York. How could you assume there aren't enough representatives to fucking gerrymander 4?
Mom Donnie in New York City got 1 million votes.
Right. That's more than the population of Vermont.
Ted Cruz ran for, let me see how many votes he got. because I think Mom Donnie might have gotten more votes than him. Let's see.
There's
Ted
nothing.
Cruz.
I think Vermont only has one representative. There's nothing to gerrymander there.
They gerrymandered it. Corruption.
New Hampshire, I think maybe they have 2. I don't recall. They may also have 1. Rhode Island only has 2. Connecticut has 5. Maine
Yeah.
only has 3. Yeah, you're right. Massachusetts is full of demurst.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, I'm standing watch right now, buddy.
Brother, if they convinced you that what you were doing in the army was doing something for us domestically, I'm sorry they tricked you. Do you know what they did with your service? Expanded capital.
Bernie is one of Vermont's senators.
And he's an independent, right?
Yeah, he's technically an independent.
Yeah, for these charts and graphs and shit like that, he doesn't even fit with the Democrats. He just caucuses with the Democrats.
It's funny because I've been to a few conventions of like political scientists from New England states, and every time there's like a state panel, everyone has like a professor from each state that talks about the politics that are going on, and the professor from Vermont is always like, "It's Vermont. Bernie Sanders is our senator. That's about it." Like, there's nothing going on in any of these states.
It's all fucking mountains and trees and beavers. Lots of beavers.
So many beavers.
Their illegal pursuit of power has now been stopped by the Supreme Court that is enforcing the Constitution and prohibiting the racial gerrymandering and discrimination their party is built on.
Mr.
Senator
Chairman,
Padilla.
Just a
Mr. Chairman, part of personal privilege.
Sure.
I feel personally aggrieved to sit here and to be lectured by my colleague from Texas. And this reminds me of the time when he was first elected to the Senate, and the Judiciary Committee had a hearing on gun safety, and he felt a need to lecture Dianne Feinstein, who was a leader on gun safety legislation, and he took that opportunity to lecture Dianne Feinstein about gun safety and her leadership on the issue. And she said to him something along the lines of, "I did not sit here on this committee for however many years she did, only to be
100.
lectured by you." And that is how I feel. So why don't you just stop lecturing the rest of us? Just because you think you are the smartest person in the world doesn't mean the rest of us agree to that. Okay, thank you.
Senator Hirono,
Senator,
I knew
Senator-
Dianne Feinstein. I served with Dianne Feinstein, and you're not Dianne Feinstein.
All right, Senator Padilla.
Damn.
She said, neither are you. Like, Hirono's fine. I'm not a big fan of her. She's as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of fucking rocking chairs. Every time she's up in the mic, she's fucking shaking like a leaf.
Yeah.
It's like, lady,
We're not
get
all
it together and fucking deliver your message. Come on.
We're not all gifted public speakers.
She's been doing it for fucking 20 years. You should be getting better.
Yeah. All right. I got about 30 minutes left before I got to go. And
I got a quickie. This was given to us from the chat.
and then we'll do the civics corner.
Department adopted new guiding principles for state education today, unanimously approving the Phoenix Declaration that was written by the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah, Tarek Miner's joining us now with more on the vision for the education system. And as I understand it, some of the critics argue that these principles are veiled in ideology.
And that's what some of the critics say. Its official name is the Phoenix Declaration, an American Vision for Education. And the author...
Ruh-roh. The Heritage Foundation.
So, Tim, what do you think this is going to instill in the young
I don't
folk?
know, man. It's gonna. I don't know, man. The Phoenix Declaration is very, very ominous. I think they want to just blow it all up and start again. Well, that's the feeling I'm getting.
The Heritage Foundation also authored the controversial Project 2025. Florida.
No, that's a Democrat thing. Democrats made up Project 2025. It's not real. For a year on TikTok, me arguing with people.
is now the first state in the nation to formally adopt these guidelines, but not before members of the public objected.
I don't know how anyone could disagree with parental choice and responsibility, curriculum transparency, academic excellence.
Florida's Department of Education commissioner calls them principles that everyone across the aisle agrees with. Guiding principles for education called the Phoenix Declaration, an American vision for education. The declaration outlines a vision for education focused on parental choice and responsibility, academic excellence, cultural transmission, character formation, transparency and accountability, and truth and goodness.
I have two things to say about this before we even dig into any more of it. Have you seen the kids in school today?
Yes.
Have you seen what they're doing?
It's a hot mess.
How are you going to get truth and goodness out of them?
They're too, I mean, you can do it all you want, and then as soon as they get out of school, they're going to get on Call of Duty and call everybody the hard R and start telling everybody to suck their dicks.
Also, parental choice and responsibility. See, here's the problem. I am all for parents having a voice in how their children are taught. That's what boards of education are for. However, there is something to be said in one parent not making sure that all of the kids are learning the thing that one parent wants them to learn.
Cultural transmission.
What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? I teach sociology. I've never heard that term before.
So I just want everyone to see these 6 bullet points because you
Now I
can
have to
almost see like the outline of like, you know, like when someone has like a trench coat on and something under the trench coat, like you can tell like what's underneath the tarp here. Parental choice
called? The
and
Phoenix
responsibility
Declaration?
is charter schools. Academic excellence is we're going to make our own curriculum so that we can make our own grades. Cultural transmission means no brown people stuff. Character formation means hate others. Transparency and accountability means conspiracy theory class. And truth and goodness, it will be good old Christo-fascist teachings and indoctrination.
Here we go, Mikey. I found it. I got it. It's not that long of a document, which is why the Republicans can read it, I guess. Here's cultural transmission. I'll make it bigger.
Enhance.
Enhance. Okay. Yeah, we know that one. We know that one. Cultural transmission. A central purpose of education is to transmit humanity's accumulated knowledge and wisdom, as well as our nation's particular culture and heritage to the next generation.
We
A
don't have one.
civilization, I know, a civilization survives only if it intentionally transmits its history, traditions, and values, including its yet unrealized aspirations to the next generation.
Revisionist history.
True progress comes only by building on what we have learned and achieved in the past, except for if we have to learn about slavery. Students should therefore learn about America's founding principles and roots and a broader Western Judeo-Christian values. Wow. Students should study the best that has been taught and said, engaging in the great conversation among competing viewpoints that comprise our intellectual heritage, so that they feel, so that they freely make their views their own. This is indoctrination.
Mm-hmm. It's
This is
re-education camps for the kids.
This is everything they rail against, because Judeo-Christian values shouldn't be taught in schools. You shouldn't just be taught Western culture, and America's founding principles have nothing to do with our schools.
Nope.
Intellectual heritage is a buzzword for ethnocentrism, which is viewing other cultures through your own cultural lens. And yeah, so they just want the prevailing culture in America to be the culture in America.
And Lost Missionary says cultural transmissions will mean whatever they want it to mean. when it becomes expeditious for them. Exactly.
Yes.
This is that is them getting rid of Black history, getting rid of women's history, Mexican history. We don't need that stuff. Okay. We have one history now. The history of Trump. America.
And these are the people who wrote this fucking thing.
Yeah, they're in the administration right now.
Yeah. Ooh. Institutions who signed on to this, the 1776 Project Foundation, of course.
Of course.
The American Cultural Project, the Center for Christian Virtue. Like, come on, the Heritage Foundation,
Coalition of Jewish Values.
These are all Christian nationalist organizations.
Correct. Because this is what it's re-education camps. Re-education camps for the kids.
And truth and goodness. State education leaders say adopting the declaration,
truth and snitching on your neighbors,
reaffirms the state's commitment to education, calling it a unifying foundation. But critics say the declaration is a thinly veiled political agenda to dismantle public education and privatize it and install a conservative ideology.
The fact that the Heritage Foundation wrote it, that it's out of Project 2025, this is indoctrination dressed up in pretty words.
Boom.
The principles sound wonderful. How could anybody not want to go along with those? But be careful what you try to put in here, because it is indoctrination.
The Heritage Foundation is also Project 2025.
You know what? I dare say, hey, Florida kids, you might reap the whirlwind that your parents are sowing. Maybe we should let y'all do that for a couple of years. And then you can, and then those kids can try to get into college after that. Those kids can try to get jobs after that. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, if you want to just make an entire generation of kids stupid and useless in the workforce, then go for it. Have no standards. Just fill them up with Bible stories and shit like that, and teach them that it's okay to oppress people when you need stuff. I need this, so you're just gonna get oppressed. That's the American story. I need it more than you. Just teach them that. And then when they, are stuck living in your house until they're 45, that's fine with me too.
These guys these fuckers are so obsessed with their culture and their heritage. They don't understand that they don't have a real say in how it changes.
What? We don't have to ask them?
They don't. When I talk about the kids these days, the class I taught, some of those kids are fucking hard to reach just on a communications level. On a cultural level, they're in a completely different place.
Yeah.
They have their own shit, man. They're not going to listen to this.
Like, I get that they're trying to indoctrinate the kids, but these kids are wild as shit.
And
you're gonna put them all in uniforms and make them all pray. Okay,
right? And
they're still
Gen
gonna
Alpha,
they're still gonna be fucking and stabbing each other. So go ahead.
Gen Alpha, who is going through school right now, is already throwing out all the stuff. They're already just getting. They're like, they hate the technology. They hate it.
Things can only bend so far.
Christian nationalist is coming all over it.
The Phoenix Declaration was signed by more than 50 scholars and policy experts, as well as 10 educational and public interest groups. All of them are concerned.
All of them are Christo-fascist, right? That's what he was going to say.
All of them are Nazis.
Conservative. So the Phoenix Declaration was adopted in a unanimous vote. It is not a rule of law. It is not directly enforceable. State leaders say it is instead a set of principles for Florida's education.
Cool. I'm happy for Florida. I'm happy that Florida continues to be the dumpster fire of this country.
God damn, you're an embarrassment. Yeah, they can't be gay, but they can fucking write this bullshit up.
Right. Make it a tiny bit smaller. There we go. Article 4. Welcome to Viper Scott's Civics Corner. Makes it easier to chop it up later. Okay. So, Article 4 of the United States Constitution. This regards states' citizenship and new states. Section 1. Full faith and credit shall be given to each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. And the Congress may, by general laws, prescribe the manner in which such acts, recordings, and proceedings shall be provided and the effect thereof. Or proved. Proved. So, basically means that all states are given the full faith and credit of the country, and they have all the same access to public acts, records, and proceedings.
Except Alabama. They're on their own.
Section 2. The citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states. A person charged in any state for treason, felony, or other crime who shall flee from justice and be found in another state shall, on demand of the executive authority of the state from which they fled, be delivered up to be removed from the state having jurisdiction of the crime. Basically saying if you commit a crime in one state and then you flee to another state, you can be extradited back to the original state where you committed the crime. There's no process that is prohibiting any of that. They just have to do it. Who's ignoring the chat? For what? Yeah, that's what we said. All of them are attached to the Heritage Foundation. It has nothing to do with being obsessed with culture. They're using culture as a stepping stone to what they want. They want complete power over kids. If the kids aren't going to listen, man. I mean, you can take them to private schools or charter schools or Catholic schools or whatever, but it doesn't always take. Let's see. This part was only applicable to fleeing slaves, but is now obsolete, but we'll read it anyway because it was part of the Constitution. No person held to service or labor in one state under the laws thereof, escaping to another, shall, in consequence of any law or regulation herein, be discharged from service or labor, but shall be delivered up on claim to the party from whom such service or labor may be due. And this is the part that I was talking about earlier. The northern states agreed to all this shit. They were like, fine, we'll do it. So, as part of that, they were like, if a slave broke free from their plantation or whatever, and they were found in a northern state, and the plantation owner or their master, whatever, found them and said, "Hey, that's my slave," the northern states all agreed that, well, we'll just give him back. Because he's that person's slave or whatever. So that's the part that makes the North just as culpable as the South when it comes to racism and slavery and all that stuff. They all agreed to this. Yes, they're putting a lot of faith into their curriculum, which is this is sort of an unwritten rule in the Constitution. It's never mentioned in there. There is no separation of church and state, with the exception of the First Amendment of the Constitution, which says that government shall not make laws respecting or disparaging a certain religion. But written into the Federalist Papers several times is the idea of the separation of church and state. And the idea that, we're not going to respect any sort of churches within the government, although they break that shit all the time. And God We Trust is on our money. There's prayers in Congress. They always have like an opening prayer or whatever. Like, it is sort of ubiquitous in the state that there is an acknowledgement of religion, and the prayers in school and the 10 Commandment stuff in school and in front of like judicial buildings has always been a hot topic. It all revolves around freedom of speech and freedom of religion. And okay, if you get to have your 10 Commandments, then what do the other religions get? And for a while, it was, we agreed to not do those things in public schools or in front of court buildings because, it's not supposed to be part of the state. But with the evangelical Christian movement sort of taking over the Republican Party and Donald Trump, they've pushed a bit harder to have like prayer in school and religious based arguments in school, like creationism and stuff like that, to oppose evolution. And once again, these are all like wedge issues that have been brought up by the evangelical right to do things. So that's horrifying. Shouldn't do that in school. Section 3. This is regarding new states, how we create states in this country, if we were to create further states. New states may be admitted by the Congress into its union, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state. So you can't create states within states. It would get crazy if you did that. Nor any state be formed by the jurisdiction of two or more states or parts of states, which is what California is running into, because there's a bunch of movements in California where they want to break California up into smaller states. But Section 3 of Article 4 of the Constitution says you can't do that because California is already a state and you can't break it up. But this would be without the consent of legislatures of the states concerned, as well as the Congress. So for them to break up California like that, they would have to get consent of, I believe, a majority of the other states and Congress. Congress shall have power to dispose of and make any needful rights and regulations respecting the territory or property belonging to the United States. And nothing in this Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States or of any particular state. Just basically saying Congress has the power to regulate the territories. And they make the rules regarding how we acquire and maintain our territories. Like Puerto Rico or American Samoa or Guam, like those places. Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence.
Yeah.
Basically saying that the United States guarantees that each state is allowed to have its own form of government, republican form of government, and has to protect those states from invasion. And if the legislature won't do it, the executive has to protect them from domestic violence.
Ooh, we never thought about that, Tib. What if some of these blue states, we just start taking red states' land?
Well, apparently you're not supposed to do that. Oh, Mikey, the last one was about the creation of new states. Apparently, you're not supposed to make new states out of old states. Unless, I think it's a majority of the other states and Congress agree to it.
I guess that makes sense. Because then I think that prevents, like, you're drawing up Colorado and I'm drawing up Utah. And like our map overlaps. So there's an area where both are both states. So you can't make your state with part of another state in it.
Right. And you can't break up one state into multiple states unless everyone agrees that's what we're going to do.
Which, I mean,
well, they want to do that in California. They want to turn California into like 6 states or whatever.
Oh, I was talking about Cascadia.
Oh,
where Northern California and the Pacific Northwest want to secede.
Oh, I see. I believe we'll get to that part in the next section about seceding states and stuff like that. But this was specifically regarding current states and the creation of new states and how you do citizenship in those states. So that was Viper Scott's Civics Corner, Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution.
I kind of want to make a thing, like a music singer.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do it like Darkwing Duck. It's that Civics Corner from Viper Scott. There you go. That's it.
You got it. I think you got it.
I nailed it in one. Did you talk about the heart attack place?
No.
Downtown Las Vegas and the Fremont Street Experience play host to millions of tourists a year. There is a spot really for anybody down there. Bars, karaoke, casinos, and restaurants.
Prostitution.
Restaurants. And in a shocking move,
why you gotta say it
one
like
of
that,
the
Mike?
big restaurants there.
I'm just saying this is a service that's available only in Vegas. You can't pay for it everywhere else.
I mean, legally. You can't pay for it legally anywhere else.
Right.
Has closed its
Oh, and also I need to get Gronk's right from Emperor's New Groove.
doors suddenly. That would be
The poison, the Cusco's poison, the poison for Cusco.
Heart Attack Grill, which has attracted Fremont Street patrons with its hospital-themed gimmicks and massive burgers for 15 years.
But the owner of the restaurant announced yesterday that he is closing the doors for good. Fox 5's Evan Leake talked with him about the fiery message he shared about why he felt it is time to.
Why did you think he felt the need, Tim? What do you think it was that made him? What do you think happened in America that has this Las Vegas entrepreneur, business titan? You know, like what could have possibly gone wrong, Tim?
I can only imagine, Mikey, what could have gone wrong. It could have, maybe it's Canada's fault.
We haven't blamed them enough.
Shut
down. Definitely haven't blamed them enough.
A lot of passion and emotion coming from John Basso after his decision to close the Heart Attack Grill, what has literally been a cornerstone at
Bro, look at the fucking crowd behind
Yo,
him.
there's
no one
nobody.
there. This is midday Vegas. This should be packed. Because this is old Vegas, I think. On the, what is that? The southwest corner?
Non-linear progression is right. They're not even a real country anyway.
Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street inside Neontopolis since 2011, a decision that John says comes down to the best interest of not just himself, but the people that he serves.
I've seen it on TikTok. If you 350 pounds, you get to eat free. I was hoping I get to eat free.
Man, he was so stoked. He's like, oh, I get to eat free? Someone. The fucking Demorsts, man. We need a National Demorts Party seal and put that on a t-shirt.
Tourists turning up to Fremont Street, finding out the Heart Attack Grill has closed its doors.
Those patties look like shit.
Yeah, they don't look good. They don't look good. There's no Maillard.
They are frozen patties. Look at that, Tim. Come on. Look at the state of this fucking grill top. Are you kidding? What?
Yeah,
you
how
got
often do
time
they
to
clean that
lean.
thing?
You got time to lean. You got
should be
time to
cleaned.
motherfucking clean.
You got it. If you're doing that much work on the grill, it needs to be cleaned and reseasoned every night.
That's how it works, y'all. Sorry. You need to get it all the way up to put it on 9. Let that bitch get all the way up there, and then you take the little squirt bottle with the water and you scrub and you scrape. It should be stainless steel.
Just water and a little bit of lemon. Take that stuff right off.
You put it on you grab the spatulas or your tongs, grab the lemon, give it the thing. This is unacceptable. They didn't know that the fucking #1 food critic show, A Seat at the Dinner Table, the two hosts were going to watch this. They had no idea, but we're all over your grill top, son.
An unexpected and passionate announcement made by the restaurant's owner, John Basso, on Monday.
It's really strange to be talking to you right now because
I don't have the lab coat on. I don't have the stethoscope. I'm not Dr. John right now.
Dr. John, Basso's restaurant persona for more than 2 decades, is no more, along with the restaurant. A move Basso attributes to a changing culture in Las Vegas since the pandemic.
When we
Is it that
Changing culture.
is it that tourism never recovered after the pandemic for some reason?
came out of COVID, suddenly the big bosses in the corporate casino culture changed the game. They needed to make up some money that they had lost, and it was by playing catch-up ball, in my opinion, they decided to go for
Chris C is 100% right. Grills should never look like that. Even McDonald's grills are clean daily.
Because what you guys are failing to realize, like your homemade pan, like your home stove top range and your pan can't get as hot as that thing gets.
No.
That thing gets 2.5 times hotter than your stove does.
Yeah, 500 degrees most of those get to.
You can put a little bit of water and a little bit of pressure. That shit will come off. It should not look like that. Every night you clean that motherfucker. Ugh.
the whales rather than the regular folks.
Basso told Fox 5 he feels the average person has been priced out of Las Vegas. The decision to not renew his lease for Heart Attack Grills stems from not wanting to follow suit.
But I did not like overcharging people. And every month you had to look at it and say, gosh, we've got to raise prices. And you do it a couple times, it bothers you. When you're faced with doing that repetitively, I want nothing to do with it.
I think that's super awesome that he respects people's money and like that. And, he wants to overcharge everybody.
Dude, did they record this in a fucking tin can? What happened here?
It's the strip, dude. Or no, this is off the strip. But there's like dudes with fucking banjos. There's magicians. There's all all levels of street performers running around that boy. All levels.
Basso is still in the burger game, working with his family at his other restaurant in town, Snappy's.
Not he had a fallback the whole time. He had a normal people restaurant the whole time.
He had a regular restaurant the whole goddamn time.
It's just off the strip on Fremont. Okay, thank you.
Hey, it's Romans.
Well,
What's
look,
going on, Romans?
Hey, Romans, that's something helpful. Thank you. I appreciate thank you.
While he's grateful for what the Heart Attack Grill was, he tells us he's happier to serve.
Oh God, now what's going to happen, Tim? Now the world's really ending.
Yeah,
food
right.
at what he feels is a reasonable price.
We make the best burger we can, and we keep the prices low. And I couldn't do that in the tourist sector.
So let me ask you this, Tim. If he had a lot of customers, easier to absorb shock, harder to absorb shock?
Easier to absorb shock and easier to keep prices down.
Right, because you can have like a loss leader, you can find something to bring people in. What you can gimmick it, right? You can find a way.
Yeah.
And besides, he's got stethoscopes and stuff. He can do merch and make up that gap.
If you're doing high volume sales, then you can keep prices lower than if you were only serving a few people, because you can order more bulk. You can,
Right.
You can keep the same amount of staff and it still doesn't cost you that much. But if you are having fewer sales, it means that you're not able to order in the quantities you want to order in to get the price points that you want. And it also means you have to have fewer staff. And you're always you're always concerned about how much money you're making that day versus how much money is going out.
Because even start like for you with the food truck, like even starting up the food truck every day had a
Oh,
cost. Had a set dollar amount that it is going to cost me every morning to get the tanks filled up and go get the food prep and all that stuff. Like, so to just like load me up to the starting line.
And in fact, to put a finer point on it, we made the mistake of not caring what we did in the first couple of months so that we could get ourselves out there. And it really kicked us in the ass when it came to like year-end sales, because we realized how much more money we spent by doing that. Because we were like, we're just going to load up the truck and go out there and do stuff. And we didn't care about
Targeting.
Right. We didn't care about targeting or how many people we were serving. We were just trying to get our name out there. And the first year was was great. No, we lost money the first year because we went to a lot of places where we didn't make any money, but we were trying to get our names out there. And
Right.
and the food truck game is a volume game. You have to stock that truck
Yes.
and sell it out.
And I think restaurants are the perfect kind of like analog for like how this capitalism fails and like what its aim is meant to do. Because like especially if you're a restaurateur, like or especially a food truck owner, your inputs are constantly changing in
Yeah.
price, and your labor is minimal always.
Right.
Like I don't know a single restaurant where they have extra people just standing around.
No, and it is one of the things that is strangling the St. Louis Bread Company to death.
Yeah.
Is the fact that they are entirely obsessed
Maybe
with
we
their
should just
labor.
say a restaurant, you know.
A restaurant.
Yes.
No, it's what happens to like fast casual places like that restaurant because they become so obsessed with how many people they have at any given hour on
Mhm.
staff versus how much food they're selling, and then it becomes a game that they can't win.
They treat it like it's like a white collar job when they staff. Brother, you only need 2 people in the morning and 8 people at night. But they'll put 3 people consistently throughout the day and like, why am I bleeding money? It's like because you're not selling no food right now. This is prep time. Like you don't need this many people.
And they're
But
constantly
that's how their
upping
structure works.
Well, they're constantly upping their productivity goals and their sales goals, and they're correlating that with how many people they need to have on staff, but they want fewer people on staff.
Yeah,
So they do the things like the mobile kiosks and online ordering and stuff like that. So you're getting a huge volume. However, the amount of sales that you're contributing to 1 hour of labor is also much higher. And so
Right.
there's no way to keep up with the amount of sales that you're doing with the amount of people that you have. And then you end up with poor reviews. And then you're like, why do we have poor reviews?
And this is the corporate promise of technological convenience will not hurt the workforce, and it always does. It always does. You guys think it's just a doodad to make things quicker or faster, and ultimately it hurts the workforce. Last thing on this, I was talking to the wife. I think if I could do one thing to fix this country, unions.
Oh yeah.
We
The
need
restaurant industry
we
as
need
a whole is unionization.
we need like because I think we're at like 10 or 15% union representation across the country.
Less than that. It's less than 10.
If we could get it to like 60,
Oh yeah.
this whole landscape is different. Because when corporations can't control, if the people can control the corporations by strangling them with boycotts and walkouts and protests and stuff like that, if people can strike regularly, like look at Italy and France and Portugal, them motherfuckers said, we're gonna take the trash out on Thursdays instead of Fridays. No.
Oh, sorry, Mike. I got a phone call.
Yeah. And they will shut the whole city down because they made some slight change that they did not want. Because they have good union representation. Wish we had that. Wish we had that. we don't know which one actually it's a mystery. No one knows. Who's that famous baker in New York? Julia Child. I don't know. I'm a cookerist. Get rid of the microplastics in all our food. Everyone would maintain things. Yeah. Like I think it's weird because I feel like like something happened to the millennials, like we all got exposed to something really bad and they're just not telling us yet. Because like I know how like lead kind of triggers some Gen Xers and they're just like, I don't have lead. And it's like, I probably have lead. It was everywhere, especially like motherfuckers like were sitting in traffic jams and shit like that back in like the 70s and the 80s. Before they got rid of that fucking the no-knock gas, people were just like they were just baking children in clouds of lead.
Yep.
No AC, so you had to roll the windows down and smell the exhaust. It's like generations went through that shit. It's crazy. Yeah, man, it's the lead. It's
Yeah,
okay.
microplastics is our lead though. We're just
I
chock
think
full
we're
of
just
this
gonna be preserved.
stuff.
We're gonna be like eventually we're gonna be so artificial. We'll just like look like we're looking pretty good. For pushing 40, we're looking pretty fucking good. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, I'll be 40
It's
in
not
exactly a
possible.
month.
I'll be busy that day.
John did tell me that the Heart Attack Grill isn't necessarily gone for good. He has had investors reach out trying to see if they can bring it back. So he did tell me that Dr. John may come back, the Heart Attack Grill.
Does he have increased costs on his inputs? Maybe.
Maybe
Maybe it's harder to get produce.
Maybe everything is more expensive.
Hope you didn't have any like Mexican ingredients or something like that.
May come back as long as it's under his terms to best serve customers. Reporting outside the Fremont Street Experience, I'm Evan Leake for Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Am I subscribed to them?
He wants his rent to be lower. That's what he wants. He can't control the other costs. He wants his rent to be lower. All right, Mikey, I gotta run.
All right, dude.
I gotta go do some community service, not court prescribed community service, self prescribed.
You gotta go charge his ankle bracelet.
Oh, Mikey, I started my garden.
Your victory garden?
My victory garden.
What you growing?
Mostly onions right now and peppers.
You're such
and
an
tomatoes.
asshole. You're such a little asshole.
I'm not lying.
You're just a rude asshole.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what, Mikey? Some of us like onions. I don't know what to tell you. Here,
What are you growing?
share a
Onions.
picture.
Onions, Mikey. I'm growing onions only.
I mean,
only
it's not much right now, but this is my box raised bed right here.
Ooh.
It
bunnies
has
are gonna love the bunnies are gonna love climbing up there and eating all of your shit.
all of my onions. This is all onion.
That's dirt.
Well, underneath is onion.
He's lying, guys.
There's like 50 onion bulbs in here.
You were just like Dexter. All right, everybody. Tim, big me.
Big you? Oh, that's the wrong.
Oh God. There we go. Dexter, say hello to the people. Dexter. You're not supposed to be in here. I'm allergic to you. He's purring his ass off. Get out of here. Ow.
You're gonna make him all itchy.
He's clawing me. Stop. Dexter, this is inappropriate.
But I will see
No, I don't
everyone.
want-
I'll see everyone for Unbox later, except for Ollie, who's not going to be there.
Ollie's not allowed.
He's not allowed.
It's a very good raised bed.
Yeah. And I got some other planters with pepper plants and tomato plants.
You got chicken wire?
I will.
Okay. Because
Keep
they
all the
will. I'm just
animals.
letting you know. They're gonna be like, they built this for us. Oh my! Thank you. It's away from the grass, so I can find it.
I intend to have another one exactly like this, but for potatoes. Like that's onions and potatoes is like the base for self-sustaining gardens. So,
Bruh, the motherfucking robins keep digging up my fucking Yukon Gold potatoes. They are adorable. They're about the size of a marble. And I keep finding them on the fucking sidewalk because these little fucking robins looking for bugs go into the soft soil and just start flicking shit around. And I'm like, hey, what you doing? Hey, that's my potato. And then fucking just goes away. I'm like, damn you, robins. I hate them. All of them.
All right. Bye, everybody.
And we'll see you tonight. And don't forget to drink your
me.